This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen Gipp, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
It's Monday, November 17th, 2025, and here are today's stories. Toxic rivers, unsafe tap water, and industrial waste are putting millions in Indonesia at risk. Community cleanups are helping, but are they enough to save people and the environment? A breakthrough in infrared sauna technology promises relief from pain, stress, and toxins, and it's already changing lives. So how does light itself become medicine? More families are ditching traditional classrooms and turning to AI for personalized learning. From instant tutoring to custom lessons, is this the future of homeschooling? A drab harbor wall in Fuerteventura has become a breathtaking underwater world, and now travelers are lining up to see it. Who's the artist behind this transformation? Calendars aren't just for dates, they reveal what cultures value most, from farming cycles to sacred rituals. What do timekeeping systems say about the people who created them? During World War II, a tragedy claimed countless innocent lives. Today, a solemn ceremony in Belgium ensures their stories and their sacrifices are never forgotten. Indonesia's beautiful islands are surrounded by water, yet much of it isn't safe to drink or swim in. From polluted rivers to unsafe tap water and mining waste, the country faces a serious water quality problem. While progress is being made through community action and cleanup efforts, the scale of pollution shows how much more needs to be done to protect both people and the environment. To understand how deep the problem runs, it helps to start with Indonesia's rivers, the main lifelines for many communities. For years, these waterways have become dumping grounds for waste, carrying trash and toxic runoff straight into communities and the ocean. Poor waste management, lack of sewage treatment, and industrial dumping make things even worse. A survey by Ecotone, a market research company, found more than 90% of locals say their rivers are polluted, and many describe them as highly polluted. Volunteers and groups like Riverwatch in Bali are working hard to clean up the mess, building barriers and organizing cleanups, but it's a constant struggle. Most of the waste comes from households mixed with industrial trash, showing how deep the issue really goes. The Citarum River in West Java is the most extreme example. It's so clogged with plastic and industrial waste that it's often called one of the dirtiest rivers in the world.
Indonesia is the second largest contributor to marine plastic pollution globally. Rivers like the Citarum are so polluted with plastic and industrial waste that they resemble garbage dumps. Only 2% of urban areas have proper sewer systems, leading to widespread contamination of water bodies. In Jakarta, canals are often filled with a mix of sewage, garbage, and industrial effluents, posing severe health risks. The country's rapid urbanization outpaces its waste management capabilities, resulting in open dumping and burning of waste. Deforestation for palm oil plantations leads to soil erosion and water pollution, affecting both biodiversity and local communities. Seasonal floods wash accumulated waste into the ocean, exacerbating marine pollution.
Mining brings a whole new set of problems with it, especially when it comes to water. Heavy metals like nickel and chromium, plus sediment from mining sites, can seriously mess up water quality for nearby communities. In Indonesia, nickel mining is booming, but it's also creating huge environmental issues, like on Cabana Island, where runoff has turned rivers a reddish brown and made them unsafe to use. Thousands of people's livelihoods are at risk, and tensions are rising between local indigenous groups and the nomadic bayou community.
The indigenous groups get some benefits from mining, jobs, and land sales, but the Bayou are left struggling with polluted water and fewer resources. This divide has made it harder for the community to take quick action, even as the damage keeps getting worse every day. Activists say the government isn't doing enough to protect islands like Cabana, even though they're supposed to be legally protected from mining in the first place.
We, the people who live by the sea, are deeply troubled by this red soil. There's no more hope that the water will ever be clear again. It feels almost impossible for things to go back to the way they were. All the fishermen reject mining because our lives and livelihoods depend on the sea.
I felt it myself, the itching. My hands broke out in sores because of the water. For the time being, the presence of the mine helps support both my family and the local economy. Take me, for example. I have 2 kids who are still in school, and I don't have enough money to cover everything. But each month, the company helps pay for their school fees.
All this pollution adds up to one big problem. Safe drinking water is still hard to come by. A 2025 study shows millions of Indonesians still lack reliable access to clean water, especially in big cities. Even when water is treated, the old and leaky pipes can let bacteria and pollutants seep back in. Many locals boil or filter their water, but for tourists, bottled water is the safest bet. In Bali, for instance, tap water can contain heavy metals and bacteria, and even brushing your teeth with it can sometimes lead to stomach problems. Government efforts to improve water treatment have been slow due to infrastructure and monitoring challenges.
While Indonesia has no shortage of water, clean water remains a luxury for many. Fixing this problem will take more than volunteer cleanups. It'll require stronger policies, better waste management, and stricter environmental enforcement. It's a massive challenge, but one that can't be ignored.
At the 2025 Tesla Technology Conference in Albuquerque, New Mexico, UNN Field Messenger Lawrence interviews Philip Wilson about the health benefits of infrared sauna. Developed in Taiwan over 10 years, this advanced light-frequency technology helps reduce pain, stress, and toxins.
Hi, Field Messenger Lawrence Love here with UNN. I'm just coming in. This is at Crown Plaza here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Tesla Tech Convention. All right, we're about to do an interview with Philip Wilson. I'd like to introduce Philip to y'all. Enjoy.
I'm here at this conference, the Tesla Tech Extraordinary Technology Conference. So I want to give a mention to the product that is very, very unique. The Relax Far Infrared Sauna is, it took the company in Taiwan 10 years to find a way to create a special kind of frequency that would be the same as the healing spas in southern Japan where people would go for healing. And it took them 10 years. They created a semiconductor chip, and from it generates 100% pure, loving light. It's far infrared energy between 7 and 14 microns. They put a tent around it, a silver tent, and so when you sit inside, and they give you a folding chair, and you sit inside the tent, the energy bounces all around, and in 30 seconds you can feel the energy, and after about a minute, it's like, what a treat. It's like, oh my God. And I just put a man in about 15 minutes ago. He's had, for 3 years, he's been struggling. He's had a limp off and on, mostly on. For 4 years, he's had a pain in his knee, about a pain 6, and gone in 10 minutes, gone, both of them. And he walked down the aisle and no limping at all for essentially the first time in 3 years. In 5 to 7 minutes with your clothes on, you will not sweat, but you will experience 100% to 50% of your stress or your pain will be gone, guaranteed every time. And there's no sauna at all. It's a far-infrared sauna generating far-infrared light. There's no sauna in the world that people say it feels like I'm being hugged by a warm blanket, loved by my grandma. I feel like I'm basking in divine love because we're the only sauna that gives you 100% pure far-infrared light between 7 and 14 microns. We call that loving light. It's one purpose is to vibrate the water molecules. When you vibrate the water molecules, that releases the ionic bonds. And according to Dr. Yamaguchi in Japan, who's done a lot of research, that this only the 7 to 14 micron frequency does this. It weakens the ionic bonds, and that releases toxic, poisonous gases and heavy metals from the body. It also will increase your body temperature. And this is where Hippocrates chimes in and he says, find me a way to create fever and sweat, and I will cure any disease. That's potent. He's saying, all I got to do is get you to have a fever, 3 degrees, maybe a little longer, more, and I can cure you of any disease. Now, of course, I jokingly say, if he steps on American soil and says that, they're going to shackle him and take him to jail because it's illegal to cure people. But you can cure beef.
How we're going to do it, build it better, is by doing it together. And it's just beautiful, man, just what happens when we all get together and share our ideas and thoughts and knowledge and technologies. And it's beautiful. The future is bright. It's a wonderful time to be alive.
Homeschooling is on the rise in the U.S., with about 3.7 million school-aged children receiving academic instruction at home in 2023, according to the National Center for Education Statistics. As more families take the reins of their children's education, many are turning to artificial intelligence to make learning more personalized, engaging, and manageable. From crafting lesson plans to providing on-demand tutoring, AI is transforming the homeschooling experience.
For parents, AI is making the hard stuff a whole lot easier. Need a science experiment that won't blow up in the kitchen? Looking for a history quiz your child actually wants to take? AI can generate lesson plans, worksheets, quizzes, and discussion questions tailored to your child's interests and pace. It can also suggest field trips, videos, or activities you might never have thought of. For parents without any teaching experience, AI provides peace of mind and confidence, helping them feel capable and supported as they guide their child's learning journey. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the sheer number of subjects, assignments, and curriculum choices, parents can focus on connecting with their child, encouraging curiosity, and celebrating learning milestones, all while knowing they have a helpful tool backing them up.
Here's how we're using AI to make homeschool 10 times easier. To be honest, I'm not sure homeschool would be the same experience without us using AI. Let's put it this way, AI is doing the heavy lifting. We dumped the entire Alberta curriculum into our AI and trained it on the way that Jet learns best and the activities that he likes the most. It helped us get creative with lesson plans that interest him, worksheets, quiz questions, and made sure that everything we wanted to do in some way aligned with the curriculum. And the difference has been huge. A lot more time is now spent on the actual activities than the planning itself. It's not replacing teachers completely. It's being used as a tool to focus more on what matters, connecting with the kids and making it fun.
Kids are having a blast too. AI isn't just a tutor. It's a brainstorming buddy, a creative partner, and a guide through tricky homework problems. Whether it's breaking down a math puzzle, suggesting plot twists for a story, or sparking ideas for a science project, AI can make learning feel like a game instead of a chore. Students can dive deeper into topics they love or get extra help on subjects that leave them scratching their heads, all without feeling rushed. Of course, there are a few things to keep in mind if you're planning to incorporate AI into your homeschooling routine. AI is a helpful sidekick, not a replacement for you as the parent teacher. Sometimes it's wrong. Sometimes it's quirky, and occasionally it might suggest something a little out there. That's why it's important to double check content, guide students' critical thinking, and remind them that AI is a tool, not the boss of their brain. It's also a chance to teach kids digital responsibility and online safety so they learn to use tech smartly and ethically.
Kids be able to use AI on their homework. We just signed something for the code of conduct and it said no. And I 100% disagree with it. Last night, my son was writing a poem and he wrote the poem himself. After he finished it, he read it to me and I said, why don't we ask AI for some help with it, like some rhyming words that could maybe make it a little bit better? Because it was really good, but it just it could have been a little bit better. And he said, Mom, I'm not allowed to do that. I just signed something, you just signed something that said we wouldn't do that. And I thought to myself about this and I thought, that is wrong. They're teaching these kids wrong. Yes, they should be creative and do the first round themselves and learn how to do that. But the world is changing and AI is here to help us. And the kids are going to grow up being able to use this technology, and not being able to practice with it while you're in school is actually a disservice to this next generation of kids.
At the end of the day, AI is helping homeschooling families save time, stay organized, and make learning more interactive and exciting. Used wisely, it's a game changer that can open new doors for exploration, creativity, and learning. The trick is balance. Pair the high-tech magic with real-world experiences, hands-on activities, and plenty of parent-student interaction. And homeschooling doesn't just work, it thrives.
Amino acids play a vital role in maintaining your overall health and well-being. Not enough amino acids and protein daily can result in brain fog, hormone imbalances, digestive issues, cognitive function, lack of energy, lower immunity, decreased muscle strength, and much more. That's why we created our amino acid complex, packed with 21 free-form, easily digestible aminos that skip the breakdown and go straight to work energizing your mind and body. Used by athletes, vegans, and high performers. New Earth's amino acid complex helps your mind and body recover, rebuild, and renew daily. Subscribe now and optimize your life.
Hello, I'm Susan from Sweden.
Wanda Michael from Eastern Uganda, Africa.
Hi, I'm Tim from Vancouver, Canada.
I'm Titeshwar Tongam from Manipur State, India. I'm Wumba Obasi from Southeast Nigeria.
Arnaito Chakrini from Western Uganda, Mbarara.
At United Network News, you are the news.
My name's Christina, Field Messenger, report first one in the hurricane down here in Southern California from Mexico.
Real people reporting real stories from all around the world. At UNN, our field messengers are changing the face of news.
This is Jason from United Network News. We're going to be doing some aircrete building with new technologies that allow us to live in comfort and also off the grid.
Take the next step in changing the way the world gets the news. Become a UNN field messenger today.
I am Michelle from South Africa, and we are the United Network News.
I am United Network News.
I am United Network News.
If it is going to be, then it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me.
Si va a ser así, depende de mí. It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to all of us. We're UNN.
A building at the harbour in Fuerteventura, Spain, has been transformed by a stunning underwater-themed mural, making it a popular tourist attraction. UNN Field Messenger Emma shares the story of the artist who brought it to life.
Hi, my name is Emma. I'm a field messenger for United Network News, reporting from Fuerteventura, Spain in Europe. I passed by in the harbor area and I discovered that the main building is being painted by an artist in a marine theme, and it looks wonderful. I'll show you.
So this report is about the artist Joshua.
and the decoration of the building called Cofredia de Pescadores, which is the Fisherman's Guild. This is in the harbor area where all the fishermen deliver their catch of the day. And there's more to the story. There is a fish restaurant in the same building called La Lonja, which means the market. At the bar and restaurant La Lonja, freshness is key. They have fresh fish delivered from the next door every day. Guests rave about the menu, which is a splendid showcase of the ocean's bounty. Customers frequently describe their meals as superbly seasoned and perfectly cooked, underscoring the kitchen's commitment to quality. The owner of the restaurant asked Joshua if he could decorate the building on the outside. Joshua took time off work as a pool operator for a bigger complex and started sketching on the wall with spray paint. The theme is life deep underwater, and he has a good technique to get quality illustration. He uses a lift and proper face mask for protection. He uses bright colors, and I really admire his talent, and I love what he has done. Hello everybody, I'm here with the artist that have painted the building in the background, and he will introduce himself and tell us a little bit about his project.
Hello everyone, my name is Josu and I come from Algorta. Algorta is a little town in the north of Spain, close to Bilbao.
So it's a beautiful building in the background with a maritime theme. Can you tell me a little bit about the building and why?
Yeah, this place is a building that collects fish from the fishermen. On here the fish are frozen and then sold. So it was in very bad condition. So the local people asked me if it's possible paint again or do something beautiful. That's the thing I try to do. Yeah, I hope to like.
But you do have a special history in your family because your great-grandfather was a diver, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
you're connected to the underwater environment.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for telling the story.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, and we'll show the report. I have filmed the building, and I'll show you all the beautiful things that he's done. Okay, thank you. Thank you for
Bye.
watching.
Thank
Hope
you very
you like
much.
the report. Bye.
Bye.
Calendars come in all kinds of forms: lunar, solar, and everything in between. And they've always meant more than just marking dates. Different cultures built their own systems based on what they paid attention to: the sun's path, the moon's phases, or even the movement of stars. What they chose to track usually reflected what mattered most: farming seasons, religious rituals, or royal traditions. In the end, a calendar isn't just about scheduling time. It's a mirror of how people see life, nature, and the universe itself. One of the most fascinating debates is about the world's oldest calendar. Archaeologists suggest carvings at Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, dating back 12,000 years, might be an early lunisolar calendar, while a 10,000-year-old site in Scotland also shows evidence of sophisticated time tracking. Fast forward a few millennia, and we get to the Gregorian calendar, the system we rely on today. It's solar-based, meaning it follows the sun and the seasons, unlike lunar calendars that trace the moon's phases and need regular adjustments to stay on track. The system we use today has its roots in the Roman calendar, based on the lunar cycle. In ancient Rome, the year started in March and only had 10 months. That's why September through December originally meant 7 through 10. When King Numa Pompilius added January and February around the 7th century BC, everything shifted forward by 2 months, but the old names stuck. So basically, we still use those out-of-sync month names because of ancient Roman habits that carried into today's Gregorian calendar.
The first global calendar introduced by Julius Caesar in 45 BC to structure the time within the Roman Empire. The accuracy of the Julian calendar was of 1 day off every 128 years, making the important dates to slip through the seasons. In the 1500s, Pope Gregory XIII gathered the most important astronomers of the time to correct errors in the Julian calendar, particularly regarding leap years. Pope Gregory XIII wanted to be sure that Easter, the most important event of the Catholic Church, happened close to the spring equinox. The Gregorian calendar was introduced by the Catholic Church in 1520, and it was immediately adopted by Catholic countries like Spain, Portugal, and Italy. Predominant Protestant countries rejected it and continued to use the Julian calendar. The use of two calendars introduced confusion for global travel and created conflicts on international trade. Germany and England decided to make the Gregorian calendar official in the 1700s. On the other hand, Greece was the last country to abandon the Julian calendar in 1923.
Lunar calendars base their months on the moon's phases, making them naturally cyclical and closely tied to the visible sky. The Islamic Hijri calendar is a classic example, purely lunar, with months drifting relative to seasons. Lunisolar calendars, like the Chinese, Hebrew, or Hindu variants, try to balance moon-based months with solar correction, adding extra months now and then. Because moon phases are easily observable, lunar calendars often have strong spiritual resonance. New moon fasts, full moon rituals, mapping inner cycles to outer cycles. Many traditions treat lunar moments, new or full moons, as sacred portals or times of reflection. Some spiritual thinkers argue the Gregorian calendar's neglect of lunar cycles subtly disconnects us from nature's deeper signals.
We are not in 2025, and I can prove this. The word calendar comes from the Roman word calens. Calens was the day of the month the Romans had to pay their taxes to the Roman Empire. So the calendar we use today was created to make us a slave so that we can become a part of a slave system. The calendar that we use today is called the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar is a copyrighted false timeline. It's a man-made, therefore it's copyrighted. And that timeline is copyrighted, and guess what? It's on your birth certificate, which means your birth certificate on paper is underneath the copyright of the Gregorian system, the Roman Empire. We used to have a lunar calendar, lunar cycle. We have man-made things, the Gregorian calendar, and we have God-made things, which is the cycle of the moon and the cycle of the heavens. This is the true calendar that we need to use, and it proves we're not in 2025. Because if we look at the word month, the word M-O-N comes from the root word of moon or moonth, because the moon has a 28-day cycle. It goes from a new moon all the way to a full moon, back to a new moon in 28-day cycles. And if we do 365 days a year, divided by 28 equals 13, which means we have 13 months or moon cycles every single year, which means we have a missing month. They removed one of the months to create a 12-month cycle for the Gregorian calendar. Reason why I think they did this is to remove our connection to the heavens. They do not want our bodies, our minds, our consciousness in sync with these heavenly bodies, because we can use the moon to our advantage. Full moon is when the subconscious mind is wide open, and you can use the full moon to implant new messages, new beliefs into your subconscious mind. Now, if you notice the Matrix, they always do bad things and rituals on this day to implant negative messages into your subconscious. The sun is a God-designed clock, an intelligently based design. The sun tells the time of the day, the moon tells the day of the month, and the stars tell you the month of the year. They do not want us in sync with the heavenly intelligences.
Studies show we might still have an internal moon clock, but modern life with bright lights, screens, and 24/7 schedules messes with it. For example, in the past, menstrual cycles often synced with the moon's phases, but that link has faded thanks to artificial lighting and lifestyle changes. Scientists have even found many animals still follow lunar patterns, though they claim for humans the evidence is mixed. And when society stops paying attention to the moon, its phases, energy shifts, and timing, those old spiritual connections start to fade too. Basically, we've traded a rhythm that matches the cosmos for one that runs on deadlines and electricity. Historically, changing or dictating calendars has been a power move, shaping how people live, when they rest, and when they worship. Whoever controls the calendar essentially controls collective time itself. When power structures like the church or state dictate how time is measured, they're not just keeping order, they're defining reality.
A tragic event struck the town of Morstel, Belgium, during World War II, claiming many lives. UNN Field Messenger Gisela takes us to a solemn ceremony honoring all those who were lost.
Hello, this is Gisela, Field Messenger for United Network News, coming to you from the town of Morstel in Belgium. I want to show you the Remembrance ceremony in this town 80 years after a bombardment that took the lives of 936 children and adults. It was the biggest bombardment in the Benelux, and it was done by friendly fire, the English. So, during 60 years, nobody had the right to talk about it. During the ceremony, the names of the 936 victims are called out, and there are coming people representatives of the dead people with white umbrellas. So, in the end of the meeting, there will be 936 white umbrellas on the floor.
Maria Andries, Maria Dins, Maria Isolijn, Mariette Jespers, Paulus de Meulemeester, Rosa van den Branden, Simon Peters,
Calen, Theresia Nanen, Yvonne de Bakker, Lea Kastelein, Lilian Gijbels, Ernst Paul, Frida Schamp, Gio
Goodbye. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.
UNN is changing the face of news. Join us for our weekly Field Messenger meetings and learn how you can make a difference. Visit unitednetwork.earth for more information. Thanks for watching.